So the hierarchies chart for quadrilaterals starts with a box at the top. And this is just quadrilateral. And we talked about this the other day. Quadrilaterals are shapes with four sides. I told you guys to think about a four-wheeler has four wheels. They're called quads, right? Mm-hmm. So you see a shape with four sides, it's automatically a quadrilateral. Quadrilateral is the first step. This is like calling somebody a person, okay? We're all people. Four-sided shape, quadrilateral. Got it? Now we're going to go and we're going to branch off into two sections. Over here, we have a shape with one set of parallel sides. This is our trapezoid. Trapezoid is really simple. It has one set of parallel sides. If I took the lid off this box and let these guys run, they would go off into eternity and never, ever, ever cross. If I'm driving my car down the road, are my tire tracks ever going to cross in an X? No. My car runs with its wheels parallel. These lines are parallel. They're never, ever, ever going to cross together unless I get in a major, major wreck, and I hope that doesn't happen. Well, if I did donuts, then my tire tracks would be in circles like that. They still wouldn't cross. They're never going to intersect unless I do something really, really crazy, right? The trapezoid has one set of parallel sides, one set of parallel sides, and that's it, okay? This is my person. This is my boy. My little boys are always getting trapped in crazy little situations. They're a little nutsy. But this is my boy. He's got one set of parallel sides. He's pretty simple. You give him chicken nuggets for dinner and an Xbox and he's happy, right? Doesn't need a whole lot of stuff. On the other side, we're going to talk about my girls. My girls are way more complicated. On this side, we've got all our girls. The first girl we're going to talk about is parallelogram. Parallelogram has two sets of parallel sides. I'm going to just draw these double angles for parallel because we're going to write a lot, okay? Two sets of parallel sides. If I take the lid off this box and let these two run, they're going to go on into eternity like the tires on my car. They're never going to cross. Two sets of parallel sides. These two sides are congruent. These two sides are congruent. This is the least complicated of all my girls. I'm going to draw me on here. I wear makeup. I take showers every day, but I don't get my hair done every other week, and I don't get my nails done. I'm pretty simple. Least complicated of my girls, all right? Parallelogram looks like I backed my car into a rectangle, and now it's a little wonky. You're looking for the one that's like a rectangle, but a little slanted, okay? Sometimes I back my car into things and bump it a little bit. This one, just leaning, just a tap. Got it? Now we're going to get into the more complicated ones. These two girls are friends. Rectangle and rhombus. Here's rectangle. Here's rhombus. Rhombus has four congruent sides, okay? It's the one that looks like a kite or a diamond to a lot of you. Her name is Rhombus. She is a wee bit more complicated because a rhombus can also be a parallelogram and it can also be a quadrilateral. She's a little bit more high maintenance. Her friend, rectangle, can also be a parallelogram and can also be a quadrilateral, but she's got to have 4 90-degree angles and 2 sets of parallel sides, just like parallelogram. These sides here for rectangle are not all congruent because only the opposite sides are congruent. Here, I'm going to write parallelogram. Para, double L, E-L-O-G-R-A-M. There you go. So, are you following me? So far we got parallelogram. She's not so high maintenance. She is also quadrilateral, but she's parallelogram. Okay? Rectangle and rhombus are friends, but a rectangle can never be a rhombus because the sides aren't congruent. A rectangle can be called a parallelogram and a quadrilateral. I'll give her a big old bow. They're friends, but they cannot be called the same name. You understand? A little bit more high maintenance, but still pretty easy to figure them out, right? Now we get to my drama queen. She is the most complicated of all, and her name is Square. You think that she doesn't look that complicated, but holy moly. Here's her big hair. Let's give her a purse. An expensive one, no doubt. Here's her phone. This one is the most complicated of all. Her hair looks kind of scary. Sorry. I did better earlier. All right, she's got her big Dallas hair. She's got her fancy purse. She's got her phone. She is the most complicated one of all because she's a square, which you guys can recognize because it's got 90-degree angles and all the sides are the same. But a square can also be called rhombus, can also be called rectangle, can also be called parallelogram, and can also be called quadrilateral. She is a hot mess. Trapezoids are my boys. They're over on this side. We keep them separate. The boys are simple. Give them an Xbox and some pizza and they're happy. The girls, a little bit more complicated. They care about their clothes. They care about their shoes. They care about their purses. A little bit more high maintenance. Okay? This is my easiest explanation of this hierarchy chart I can think of. A quadrilateral is like calling a person a person. Then we've got our boys. The boys only have one set of parallel sides, trapezoid. That makes him a boy. We stop there. Simple little guys. Complicated girls. Parallelogram, not so high maintenance, but she can also be called quadrilateral because she's a person. Puts a little makeup on in the morning. Easy to please, right? 2 sets of parallel sides. She is what she is. She's just fine. These two guys are a little bit more complicated. They're friends, but a rectangle can never be a rhombus. They're like frenemies. They can't be called each other. Rectangle has to have 90-degree angles. You're not going to see that on rhombus because I hit it with my car. It's slanted just a little bit. Square, high maintenance, complicated little girl.